Joining us now to talk more about this is Miqdaad Versi from the Muslim Council of Great Britain. Do you think David Cameron's got the right approach here?
I think that we all support the idea of keeping our nation safe and secure and to fight Daesh or ISIS, so-called ISIS, in the most effective way. But we need to ensure that we have sound, evidence-based policies to counter extremism and counter terrorism. And we need to avoid the risk of oversimplifying the issue and just focusing on one cause of radicalisation when there are multiple causes out there. It's not just due to ideology. I mean, that's one reason, perhaps. But also we have to look at things like alienation. We have to also look at the idea that some people, due to foreign policy, they have this idea and want to join ISIS, and many other reasons.
Because one of the things he's going to be saying, isn't it, that it's all about one nation. But as you're suggesting, there's a number of Muslims that still feel themselves as separate. They don't feel part of Great Britain. They don't feel like it has what they need and what on offer is attractive to them.
I think that on one hand, we do have the fact that poll after poll shows that British Muslims actually feel more loyal to Britain than any other group of society and are really passionate about being part of Britain and loyal to Britain. But at the same time, of course, there's some who believe that they are second-class citizens, and we have to try and ensure that there is that sort of gap which is closed between the two.
So what is the answer? Because first, one of the points he wants to make is trying to sort of dismiss any idea of glamour in terms of going away to join ISIS and make it clear, using testimony from people who've been and done it, the reality of that. Is that a useful thing to do?
Very much so. I mean, there is no magic wand. We have to be very clear. There's no magic wand to solve the whole problem. And you know, I sometimes wince when I see some people saying, this is the answer. I mean, it's complex. But this is one of the approaches we should take. There are some people who think that going there is like a 5-star jihad or something like that. I mean, that type of thing is not real. When people go on the ground, and we've heard stories of people going there, they realise the reality on the ground, and it's much, much more disgusting, more abhorrent to them. And they hear it's called Islamic State, but it's anything but. It's un-Islamic, and it's not really a state.
Miqdaad, we've heard over the last few days David Cameron talking and discussing the possibility of military action in Syria, not just in Iraq. What are your thoughts about Great Britain potentially getting involved in some bombing there?
I think we do need to learn our lessons from history. We need to make sure that we don't repeat the mistakes that we have made in Iraq and Syria and others. And we need to make sure we go through...
We haven't really gone into Syria.
Sorry, Iraq and Libya. Sorry, in Libya. Sorry, apologies. But what we need to do is approach any military action with caution, with extreme caution. I mean, we've talked, that military planners has been talking about the fact that when we see the future, when we see the consequences of our action, we have to plan for that and understand what that might result in. I mean, within the Muslim community and within communities across the UK, there are different opinions as to what the right thing to do is. But we need to ensure there is appropriate debate in Parliament and all the consequences are fully thought through.